Welcome back to Part-Time Bodybuilder. This is your host, Holly Jeans. I am joined today by RayRay Hudson, who is a fellow bikini competitor, and she is also a makeup artist. So I'm very excited to talk a bit about makeup later. So thank you for joining me. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. Very, very good.
And how was your first trip back to the gym yesterday?
Oh, it was amazing. Like my leg session was awesome. It was so good. I was looking forward to that leg press, the hack squat, all those things that you are not able to do at home. Oh, amazing.
Are you sore today?
Actually, I'm not, but probably tomorrow.
My hamstrings have literally just started kicking in. I wasn't doing too bad, and then I stood up a minute ago and was like, oh, there we go.
I usually get my jumps like 2 days after, so probably Monday, yeah.
Yeah, I'm normally 2 days later. So it'll be interesting trying to do legs tomorrow. How was your kind of set up in lockdown? Did you manage to get any kind of workouts in?
Yes, actually, like a week before they announced the lockdown, as I was seeing where it was going, because my family, I'm from Spain, so my family's in Spain, and they were like 2 weeks ahead. So they got into lockdown, and I was like, well, probably it's gonna happen here. So I went onto Amazon and just got like a barbell, like a very cheap, like didn't weigh anything, barbell with like some weights, so I could get like about like 50 kgs to be able to do hip thrust and maybe some squats. So I got that, and I think like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I managed to get myself a 20 kg barbell, like secondhand, from a gym that was closing nearby, but not weight plates because they are so freaking expensive, even the used ones. So it's like, I don't think I want to pay like almost 200 pounds for 40 kgs, So I found a guy that was selling his car alloys. So I bought them, and those are my weight plates for my barbell.
That is amazing. What a good idea.
It takes forever to set up, but at least in total, like with the 4 alloys on the bar, it's like 92 kgs. So that's not bad.
That is so clever. I love watching how like creative people have got. I made my own squat rack. So I had 2 buckets that we filled with cement and stuck 2 wooden posts in them and like cut a divot in the top. And that could hold about 80 kilos. So that was perfect.
That's perfect, yeah.
So I love it. I love how inventive people have got. And you actually prepped in lockdown as well, didn't you? You did a virtual show.
I did. I was crazy to do that,
So where did that come from?
Well, after my last show, I decided to go on to 2 years off to prepare for the WBFF, because that was the show that I really wanted to do. And during lockdown, at the very beginning, they did a virtual show, but I was just like, oh, it's the very beginning of the lockdown. Nah, that's fine. Let them do it. But in May, they said, okay, we're going to do another virtual show. And I was telling my coach, well, why don't I do it? Just, to get my face out there so they see me before I'm actually in the stage for real in November, and gives me some kind of motivation during this lockdown, because after 2 months in my house, I was just not motivated about working out or do anything. So I decided to go on a 4-week prep after 2 years off.
Shortest prep ever.
Shortest prep ever. I mean, I knew I was not gonna be ready at all, but I was happy, with what I accomplished in 4 weeks, and really, really thankful to also have sponsors that helped me, because I wouldn't have been able to just, do these 4 weeks preps without like all the products that my supplement sponsors gave me. Like Pharma Fitness gave me loads of products, and then my bikini sponsor lent me a bikini so I could just wear for the show. So yeah.
So how did a virtual show work?
For, I don't know, like other federations, but for the WBFF, what you needed to do is record a 30 seconds video, which is not a lot to do like a T-walk. So 30 seconds video, and then I needed to submit as well a front pose and a back pose picture. So that was pretty much it. The good thing is, because it's a virtual show, you can do as many videos as you want until you get the perfect one.
How long did it take you?
Like, I think it took me half an hour to do
That's
all the
bad.
videos. Yeah. I got a friend with me. I got like my ring light and all the lighting to try to get, you know, like my muscles popping, like all the tan and stuff. And my friend was like, oh no, 1 second, let me put you like the bra here. And now let me put like the bottoms up. It's like, okay, repeat again. Okay, let's do it. But then the problem is when you do so many videos, then it's so difficult to choose.
Yeah, you look them back and you think, which one was the right one?
And then it took me another half an hour to realize to me all of them were the same. After like looking at the videos so many times, you're like, they're all the same.
Yeah, which one
I don't know which one looks better. Yeah.
I think we all do it with checking pictures, don't we?
To everybody, which one do you think is best? Oh, I lost you.
Yeah, I think the internet connection went for a second then.
Oh, okay.
I think we're back. Yeah, you do it with checking pictures as well, don't you? You kind of take 10 and then you're sat there flicking through them going, which one do I look better in?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It was exactly the same thing. But, you know, that's the advantage of doing a virtual show. Like, you have more chances to submit like the best version, as if it's in like a in-person show that is like whatever you do on stage, that's what counts. You cannot repeat it.
How did they judge it?
That was interesting, actually, because we all had to submit our videos. Then they created like a little video mashup with everybody's videos that you could just watch later on. And then the criteria, I guess, is the same criteria that they have for, you know, the normal shows. They will just judge presentation, hair and makeup, your physique, and then the pictures. Obviously, they will be able to see better your physique. But I don't know, it's a bit hard, you know, because obviously it's a video, depending on the quality of the camera. I don't know.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? But I suppose, like you say, it provided that motivation and drive in lockdown, and I can imagine it was quite fun.
Yes. It was fun. It was so much fun. Like, I loved the day. And I really enjoyed those 4 weeks of prep, you know, because I was just like, I don't know, the adrenaline. I was just like doing my cardio. I was not tired doing my cardio. The diet was so hard, but I didn't find it hard because I think, you know, I was so determined to try to get in like a good shape for the show that, yeah, I don't know, it was completely different from any other kind of prep that I did.
And I suppose if it's hard, you kind of go, well, I've only got 3 weeks left.
Exactly, yeah. It's a shorter prep, so.
And what's next? What's the plan for future shows?
So I am preparing now for what it is now, the WBFF Worlds. So I am so scared.
Oh, it'd be amazing. I love the WBFF.
I was not planning on doing, you know, such a big show because, you know, the November show was it was a big show because it was a pro show as well. So it was going to be bigger than a normal regional show. But now it's Worlds. So I'm like, oh, damn, now I need to actually step up my game because there's going to be even more people competing. So.
And what category are you going for?
Bikini Diva.
And what does that involve? Obviously, you've got your bikini round.
And the gown round.
Oh, that's exciting.
Which I'm so excited about, because since I am a little girl, I've always wanted to do pageants. But in Spain, we don't have pageants. The only pageant is the Miss Spain. And for that, you need to be at least 165 centimeters. And I am 150, so I'm really far from that. So I was never able to do any of those things. This is actually why I ended up competing in the first place.
Oh, wow.
Because I thought it was like, oh, it's a really nice way to be on a stage with heels and do like a little catwalk. That was like a pageant for me, because I didn't even know either that there were pageants here in UK.
I know nothing about pageants. So when did you start competing?
My very first show was in October 2017. So I decided to compete. The main reason was because I started, going to the gym and working out, but the diet part, I was not following up, that much. I have my workout program, but I didn't really follow any nutrition plan. So I was like, I really need a challenge. I need something that is going to make me stick to a diet. And what is a better way to stick to your diet than by having to be on stage in a tiny bikini in front of a lot of people? Whenever I want to eat that cookie, I will say like, oh no, you don't want to be like not lean on stage, So that's why I decided to compete. And actually, when I was looking, I had no idea about federations or anything like that. So I just typed on Google, bikini fitness competitions UK. And the very first thing that appeared was UKUP.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's see. And I was like, oh, they have a show in October. This was March when I decided to do it. Oh, I think it's enough time for me to prep. Obviously me knowing nothing about competing or the process or anything like that. So I signed up for it and went to a PT at my gym saying like, look, I want to compete in this UKUP thing that says like, you have to do like in a bikini with heels and stuff. Will you help me to get there? So I started doing my prep with a PT at my gym that had actually never competed or never prep anybody for competitions, So we were both newbies. We had no idea what we were doing. And I think that's what made it great, because none of us knew what to expect. So I was just like oblivious and super happy during my whole prep. I was just like, yeah, it's fine. Although then my second prep, I was more worried because I knew what was coming, So I did the October show in 2017 and got second place in bikini beginners and fifth place in bikini model.
Amazing.
Which meant that I qualified for the British finals. So I didn't know if I wanted to do the British finals, but my boyfriend, after he saw me compete, he was like, you have to do it. And I was like, are you sure? Because I was pretty mean the last few weeks of my prep, with not many carbs. I don't think I feel really good to you. Do you really want to put up with me for another 2 weeks? He was like, yeah, you did great. You need to do it again. I was like, well, okay, 2 more weeks. Let's do it. Let's prep. It'll be fine. 2 more weeks, I can do it. So we did the prep for the 2 more weeks. I got feedback from the judges to know exactly what I needed to improve. And, the British finals came. I had the best time. I think it's been one of my favorite shows that I've done ever. I don't know if because of the atmosphere, like everybody, there. Everybody was super happy. I really love UKUP. I think it's one of the federations that whenever someone asks me about competitions, I always tell them, I think your very first show should be UKUP, because I don't know, it's just like the atmosphere, they're so welcoming that I think it makes you fall in love with the sport.
Yeah, so, I think the atmosphere on show day makes a massive difference. If you feel welcomed and like it's an exciting, fun atmosphere, you're going to want to do it again.
Yeah, and especially because for some reason you think, and I think this is because of the way we've always kind of like been raised, you know, especially girls, that you think it's going to be very bitchy backstage. Like everybody's going to be like not talking to you and just like, you know, wishing the worst for you. They're going to be like, I wish she falls when she goes on stage. So that's what I was thinking it was going to be. And that was nothing like that. It was so nice being backstage, everybody helping each other with the hair, on the makeup, or, you know, like, oh, your shoes, don't, oh no, your bottom, let me put it back.
Yeah, that's my experience actually of every show, that everyone, or majority of people, have been really lovely and helpful.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it. I did the British finals and I got my pro card. And then the first pro show for UKUP was a week after. And my boyfriend was again, you have to do it. And I was like, one more week. I don't know if I can do this. So I was like, okay, fine. Okay, if you believe in me, I believe in me as well. So I did another week prep and did my very first pro show, and I won. So amazing. I got the bikini model pro title. I won the model category, but not the bikini category. So I competed in both, you know, I prepped for another week. So I just competed in both categories because, yeah. But yeah, I was not conditioned enough for bikini, but I was good proportions and stuff for whatever is like the bikini model category. So after that, I decided, okay, I know what I need to improve now for the next show. And I started to looking at other federations as well to compete in, you know. It was like, okay, I've already done UKUP, I got my pro title. Then looking at the calendar in 2018, the very first show for me was UKUP Pro as well at Body Power. I did that one because I wanted to do it at Body Power. I was like, I think it would be a good experience, you know. I saw like the day before, was the day before? Yeah, the day before, it was the amateur show at Body Power. And they had this super big stage, you know, the one that PCA uses as well for Body Power.
It is huge. I did my second ever show at Body Power in 2018 as well. And the audience was humongous.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh yes, I'm like so excited for the show. And then the pro show, they changed stage. So we did it in the Body Power model search stage, which was like so tiny. I was like, oh, I really wanted to do it in the big stage, you know? And also the background was yellow and my bikini was yellow.
So you blended in.
So I was like, oh no. I don't know if it's like the pictures are not gonna look great, you know, if my bikini is yellow and the background is really bright yellow, because it's like, it was the Body Power yellow, like really bright one.
Yeah.
But yes, I had a really good time as well in that pro show. We were not that many people in that one. I don't know why the Body Power Pro was not very big. But yeah, competed in that one as well in both categories again. Bikini, still not conditioned enough for bikini. All the other girls were, I mean, they were looking amazing. Like their condition was out of this world, like so good. So it's like bikini, nothing. But then model, I won again. So I defended my title and 2 times bikini model pro for UKUP. That day was very interesting because 5 minutes before getting on stage, I got my period.
Oh no.
So suddenly it was like so watery and so bloated.
What a day for it to happen.
It was so bad. It was so bad. So this is why sometimes it's important, if you know that your period might come roughly around that time, that you have a tampon with you, just in case.
Yeah, always be prepared.
Yeah, 100%.
Any situation with your show bag.
Yeah.
I always turn up with like this massive suitcase and people are like, what have you got in there? But honestly, you've got to be prepared.
You have to, because these things can happen, and you don't want to be worrying about it when you're doing your T-walk, when you're on stage, because then obviously your presentation is not going to be as great as it should be.
So what was next after Body Power?
I did Next Fitness Models UK the week after.
Is that one in Wales? Is that a Wales
yes.
one? Yeah.
Yeah. In that one I didn't place. And then after not placing in that show, it was clear to me that the bikini category probably was not my category, that I was probably more into the model side of, the categories in competition. And my coaches at the time, they told me like, maybe it's better that you go off season now. But I had already registered for 2 bros then like 4 weeks after, and I was like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna get my money back, and the entry is like 100 and something pounds, so I don't really want to waste that money. I've already got tickets for people coming to see me, so I think I'm just gonna do the show. It would be good to be on another federation stage and see how it is. So I prepped for that one, knowing that probably I was not gonna place, because again, you cannot really do miracles in 4 weeks. I couldn't get as conditioned as the girls that were prepping for 2 bros were. But I did it because I had family coming from Spain to see me in that show. So I was like, yeah, it's fine, I'll do it. And that show was terrible. It was so bad because it ran late, but like 3 hours late. So, but it was a bit of like, I think they've learned a lot from that show, because, we were being asked to get ready to go on stage, as everybody was pumping up, and then an hour passed and we were still waiting.
I had a similar experience with 2 bros in 2019. So that was my last show, and I didn't get off stage until gone 11 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a long day.
Yeah.
I think they get so many people.
So it was just like a lot, yeah. Because the problem that we had as well is that there were a lot of bodybuilders competing. So obviously they do the routine, and that one was like, so like it ended up being so long.
Yeah, they were.
So yeah, my 2 bros. Yeah, so I got on stage 3 hours after I was originally supposed to be on stage. So yeah, I didn't place in that one either. I got 5th place. So then after that, I was like, yeah, clearly I need to go on off season. I need to get enough muscle, especially on my back, because that is one of the parts that leans down the latest. That's how you say it? The last or the latest?
Yes, yeah.
So I was like, I guess I need a little bit more muscle. So when I started to lean down, at least I can see something. And yeah, that's after that I went into off season for till May this year, that I decided to suddenly jump into the virtual show and do a 4-week prep.
So 2 years off season, is that right?
Yeah.
And how did you find off season?
I loved it, and then it was so hard as well. Hard in the sense of like seeing your body change so much, because my weight went from, obviously like competing weight, I was 42 kgs when I competed on stage. Then obviously your weight goes up normally, but my off season I ended up in 57 kilos. So that is like a big jump. So seeing your body, like especially like not fitting in the clothes properly, and like that part was the hardest. But then I love that I was so strong as well.
Yeah, you've got that energy and
yeah, like lifting, like seeing the numbers in the lifts go higher and higher and higher each week. That was like, I feel powerful. But then I was like, ooh, I don't look that great.
It's a constant battle with off season.
It is.
some days I'm like, I look fabulous, look at all these curves, and then the next day I'm like, oh, I can't fit in any of my jeans.
Yeah. Exactly. So I don't wear jeans anymore. It's all leggings. It's easier to fit in them.
I lived in leggings in lockdown. I'm dreading the day I've actually got to go back in the office and fit in a pair of work trousers.
I know. I don't really want to. Like we were asked, because makeup is not my main job. I work in a localization company for medical products, so we translate products, drugs, and stuff for pharma companies and medical companies. So we were asked in June, so now that everything is easing down, do you want to come back to the office? And we were like, maybe September. We'll see.
I quite see there's pros and cons, I think, from working from home, because I love that when I log off, that's it. I don't have to travel, and you know, I've got time back. But then in another respect, I miss the social side of it.
I know, right? Like going to have lunch with your colleagues and talk about Netflix shows that you're watching, or what you're gonna do this weekend, or like, you know, when someone does something that you don't like, it's like, oh, look what this person did.
That's a bit of office gossip.
Yes, because now, like, even typing on Skype, it takes too long. And my brain goes faster than my fingers. So sometimes I'm typing and I'm like, I'm getting desperate because it doesn't go as fast as I want it to.
See, I just hate the barrage of emails, because you're not speaking to anyone at the moment. Like, everything's done by email. So my emails are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Death by email.
Yeah. How many, like when you log on, how many emails do you have on your inbox from since you logged off the day before?
See, I'm really rather particular about my emails and how I file them, but probably like 50, 60.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same. You open the inbox and it's like, 100 emails. No.
No. Yeah. Delete.
Yeah.
So if we talk about makeup, then you do stage makeup and you cover quite a few different shows as well, don't you?
Yes. So I actually started doing makeup when I was in Spain. I was doing bridal makeup, and then I started doing editorial makeup for photo shoots for a friend of mine. When I moved here, obviously I stopped that because I didn't know anybody, and it was a little bit hard with my job doing makeup on the side. But when I competed, I got my makeup done by the backstage team in my very first show. And I think it's because I know makeup, I just didn't like it. So, I mean, I went on stage and I was happy because it was my first show, but I didn't feel confident with the way I looked. So for the other shows, I decided to do makeup myself, also to save the money, because stage makeup is not cheap. So I did the makeup myself, and I started getting a lot of compliments from other girls backstage. I was like, yeah, I did my own makeup. Yeah, thank you, la la la. And the next year, I got contacted by a few of the girls asking me if I could do their makeup for the show. So I started traveling to the UKUP show in York to do their makeup. Obviously, I started with like really cheap rates because, you know, very first time doing proper stage makeup, I didn't really want to charge normal price because I didn't think it was fair. So I started doing makeup for them like that. And later in the year, Laura from Get Bronze contacted me to see if I could help with makeup at Two Bros that year. So I went to that. It was, I don't know which show was it, like one of the very last shows of the year. I went there to do makeup, and then for the next season, so 2019, I was part of the makeup team for Two Bros, working on all of them backstage. And then apart from working backstage with Two Bros, I was freelancing, you know, all the girls that I knew from competing for their makeup. So like Pure Elite or Miami Pro, PCA, those are the ones that I did in 2019. Then coming 2020, Very exciting opportunity came up because Two Bros decided to change the makeup team. So I'm not backstage anymore with Two Bros. I'm doing that as a freelancer. But Miami Pro approached me to see if I wanted to form a team for backstage for Miami Pro. And this came recommended by one of my clients from Two Bros, that she loved the makeup that I did. And the week after, she went to compete with Miami Pro, and she didn't like the makeup that she got there. So she really pushed for me to be able to get there. So thank you, Jada, for recommending me. So I formed the team. I will be working with Georgia and Natalie in backstage at Miami Pro. Hopefully, if the November show is still ongoing. We don't know. We're waiting for confirmation from the venue to see if that show will go ahead, or we will need to do another date, or if it's going to be transferred to next year.
And if there are massive differences between different federations and the makeup looks, do kind of you go more glam for kind of the more fitness model type?
Yes. What I've noticed is, for example, Two Bros or like IFBB competitions, people look for more of like a natural glam. So not many people ask for colors, although I love colors. So whenever someone asks me to do a colorful look, I'm just all in and do it. I don't think we should be afraid of using colors. There is many ways to do a more natural look with using colors rather than using only browns, which is great. But I think sometimes, you know, you should be a little bit bold and just go with a little pop of color that you can do. Even like in the lower lash line, you can just do a different color, like matching your bikini, or a very shiny as well. But then obviously for model shows, you can just literally do whatever you want. And I think those are my favorite ones because you can be more creative and just do like a proper, like bright makeup. And I really love.
I've noticed in your makeup looks that you really go for it with the colour, which is quite nice because, like you say, a lot of them, every show I've gone for like a brown smoky eye and red lips.
Yeah. I think, as I said, like you should not be afraid of using color. You just need to make sure that the makeup artist that is doing your makeup knows how to work with color, because not every age.
I lost you there for a minute.
Can you hear me?
I can now, yeah. You froze. You have to make sure that your makeup artist.
Yeah.
I think we're back.
Am I back?
You are back, I think. You keep freezing.
I'm checking if it's my internet. Can you hear me now?
I can, yeah. I think we're back.
Okay.
So if you're going for colour, you need to make sure that your makeup artist
knows how to work with color, because you need to be able to blend the colors properly so it's not too harsh and you don't look like a clown on stage.
Yeah, clown is never a good look.
Not a good look. So just make sure that you know, every time that you're gonna go with a makeup artist, even if it's the backstage team, try to look for their Instagram and see their work. Also, because if you're going with backstage team, then you will be able to request a specific makeup artist when you book. and you know the way they work, you know the looks that they do. So you're more guaranteed to have the result that you want.
And what do you think makes a really good stage makeup look?
I think that even though you have to wear so many layers of makeup, that it doesn't look like you're wearing that many layers. So for me, key is blending. Eyeshadows, foundation, concealer, that everything is blended, that there is no harsh line, that it looks naturalish, you know, that it doesn't look like you've been like sprayed with the, you know, in the Simpsons, like the Homer. I don't know what is it called.
You don't look like you've got like 3 inches of makeup on, because we know that stage lights wash us out, and that's why we have to wear so much makeup. But you don't want to look like you are wearing that much makeup.
Yeah.
I think it's always a shock when you first get your makeup done for stage. So when you look in the mirror in normal lights, you're like, whoa, that's a lot of makeup.
Exactly.
So if I was...
You look like, oh, it looks weird, but then in picture it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks completely different when you're under the lights.
Yeah.
So if I said to you, so it's my show day, I've got a teal bikini and I'm going to do 2 brows, what would you want to do in terms of my makeup?
I would like to use color. I'm not gonna lie, I like to use color. But we will do it very subtle. I really like to use as well glitter, because that will sparkle on the stage, and it just makes it, I don't know why, it makes the eyes pop. But again, when you use glitter, you need to be very subtle when you use it. You don't want it to like suddenly paste the glitter and that's it. You want to like put it properly on the eyelid and be able to blend it so it looks like an eyeshadow, but with a little bit more glitter. So I use I don't use like a glittery eyeshadow. I use like glitter itself, like glitter powder. So I will do like a light smoky eye with like teal pigments on the eyelid, and probably pinky lips and a lot of contour.
We love a lot of contour. I have to say, like I say, I'm very, very boring with my makeup. I always go like, if I'm going to go for a makeup look, I always go like classic Hollywood glam is kind of what I go for. I think that's just because I'm dark and I kind of know that suits me. Is there a difference between what you would do with someone in terms of like skin color and hair color? So would it be different if I was blonde, for example?
Yeah, sometimes there are colors that won't go that well with different hair colors. I really like dark hair because it's very versatile. You can literally put any color and it's gonna look good. With blondes, there is some colors that might not look good, but it also depends on your eye color, you know, and as well, like obviously when you wear a tan, things look even better. So it's a little bit different, but yeah, definitely taking into account hair color and eye color. And again, when you are doing makeup, I also want to go with whatever you're comfortable with. So I will always tell you, either bring pictures of what you like, or if you tell me do whatever you want, I tell you what I'm going to do first, and then you tell me if you are comfortable with that. Because as you say, if you are not used to seeing yourself with color in the eyes, it might look amazing, you know, but if you don't feel good on it, there is no point. So even though I want to recommend you to do, oh yeah, let's do like a pop of color, if you are not comfortable with that, I'm not doing it. Because at the end of the day, you need to be confident with yourself to be able to do your walk on stage and just like kill it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's such a massive part of the look, isn't it? Especially for bikini girls, because you are judged on overall appearance.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah, always, if you don't feel comfortable with whatever they are suggesting you to do, you can always say no. At the end of the day, you are the client. You know.
And you've actually got a bit of a project going on, haven't you, with your makeup? So do you want to tell us a bit
You're
about
paying
that?
for the service.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Yes. Am I back?
You are back. We're having fun with internet connection today.
So am I now?
Yeah, you're back, I think.
Okay. So yes, I am working on a very interesting project, something very personal to me. I am raising money for Cancer Research UK and for the Spanish Association Against Cancer. And I'm, just asking them to just give money, just donate £5 and net £10. So I decided to create a product that people can buy, and all profits will go to cancer research. So it's gonna be launching hopefully mid-August, beginning on how to do stage makeup. So there is gonna be different modules that people can buy. So for example, foundation. What are the best foundation? How to apply foundation? Contour, how to do your contour and concealer, how to do different eye makeups so people can follow and practice at home before their stage day. Because I feel that not everybody is able to afford stage makeup for every single show in one same season. And as well, when people travel abroad to compete, they might not know a trusted makeup artist to do their makeup. So I think this will be a win-win situation for everybody. You will be able to purchase a tutorial that you can follow and you can learn how to do. And at the same time, the money that you are purchasing the product for is gonna go to cancer research. My sister got diagnosed with cancer when she was 20 years old, so like 10 years ago. And that was pretty hard, to know like someone so young could get cancer. This is something that usually you will think about someone older, but more and more times people younger ages are getting cancer. When I was going with her to chemotherapy, I saw babies, like little kids, and that broke my heart. So I thought it was a really good option, to do this exchange of makeup tutorials for money to cancer research, to be able to help the research on cancer, taking into account that is one of, I think it's like the second biggest cause of death in the world right now.
I think they say it touches about 1 in 3, don't they? It might even be 1 in 2 now.
So I think I don't know, I'm really excited. I really hope people like it and want to be part of it.
I think it's such a good idea, and like you say, people are donating and they're getting something back from it.
I will keep doing that. I'm asking to collaborate on makers. Oh, I lost you again.
I was saying it's good because you're giving back, but people are getting something for it. So I think it's an amazing idea. It will hopefully teach me how to actually do my face.
Yes. Yes, I hope so. You know, this is something with makeup, it's all about practice. You know, you have the theory, you know what you have to do, and then it's just practice. The first time it's not going to look great. The second time it's not going to look great. Third time it's going to look better. And every time that you do it, it's going to look even better. And then you're going to be able to do it with your eyes closed.
It's a bit like learning how to squat or learning how to deadlift, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to learn the basics, and then you keep practicing.
Exactly. Yeah. Same thing. So I really hope that yeah, people is able to learn makeup. I know that some people ask me, but aren't you afraid that then they're not going to book you for makeup? And I'm like, well, yes, but I mean, I hope they book me at least for one show a year. Then the rest of the shows, they can use my tips and tricks.
I also think that, I know for me, like having someone do my makeup takes the stress out of the day for me.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice to know that you can sit back and let someone else do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know I'd like go to glue an eyelash on and it'd be like hanging halfway off, and I'd have like a complete and utter strop.
I think eyelashes is the worst part of makeup.
Yeah.
Because then you have your eye makeup done, everything ready, and then you're gonna put your eyelash and you're like, then you start crying because you're like trying to see, and it's like, no.
And then you peel it off and it takes half the eyeshadow.
Yeah. Exactly, yes.
Amazing. Well, you'll have to share with me the links and stuff when it goes live. I will share it on the page so people can have access and, you know, get donating and learn something with it. It'd be good.
Yes. I started doing for the first module, you know, I started doing like must-have products that everybody needs to have to do their makeup. And it ended developing, I was starting talking about skincare because it's very important, the skin before you apply your makeup. Then I started doing like a guide of skincare, and now it just transformed in a whole ebook.
Love it.
So yeah, also trying to work with pages like Beauty Bay, Cool Beauty, Look Fantastic, and for people to be able to use. Everybody that purchases the ebook and the courses, they are able to get discount on products.
Amazing. That's so good. It's such a good idea. Someone's been busy in lockdown.
Yeah. Yeah, like when you're not able to do anything. I mean, I've been busy because work, you know, working 9 to 5 every single day keeps you busy. But then on the weekends, that is when I used to do makeup, you start thinking like, oh, what can I do? You know, what kind of service I can give to everybody, you know, because obviously also with these virtual shows, people have to do their own makeup. And not everybody knows how to do their show makeup, you know?
That's brilliant. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much for having me, even though we had so many internet issues. I'm sorry.
It's all good. We'll get your face like frozen at various points.
As long as it's not like...
I'll try my best to get rid of those bits.
If not, it's fine. This is the life. It's normal. This is me when I'm not posting for pictures, you know, because obviously what you see on Instagram is always the best pictures and stuff, but this is me.
And if people want to find you, or they want to find your makeup page, etc., where can they find you?
So my personal Instagram is at RayRay Hudson, and makeup Instagram is at Rays of Beauty by RayRay.
Lovely, and I will tag both in the show description if people want to find them. But thank you so much for your time. And if people enjoyed this episode, please hit subscribe. And this will also be out on YouTube now, as well as any of the podcast platforms. So please go and take a look at the YouTube version.